Devin Haney being weight drained against Lomachenko is going to affect him the most in the later rounds. This is going to become a problem in the later rounds because Lomachenko normally turns up in the later rounds.
Coño, sube eso hasta arriba, vamos, dale duro. Yo salgo a la calle buscando mi gente cuando de repente todos los delincuentes que queden en mi vida, buena mala suerte que son mi familia, no importa la sangre. Jesús y su agua en vino.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Devin Haney being weight drained and how that could affect him against Lomachenko. First of all, let's talk about what being weight drained even is. Weight drained is when you lose a lot of weight to try to make weight for a fight, and you either lose it, in one case, unhealthily, or two, you just had to lose too much weight. There was really no healthy way for you to really lose the weight in a certain amount of time you had, and then it affects pretty much your physical performances. It could be his stamina, his power, his punch resistance, or the above. In this case with Devin Haney, pretty much it will affect him or the above, depending how badly weight drained he is, how he made the weight, and all that. Devin Haney being weight drained against Lomachenko is going to affect him the most in the later rounds. His stamina in the later rounds can potentially be affected, as he might find himself maybe tiring out a little bit and not being able to perform the way he normally does. Now, against Lomachenko, the reason this is so bad is because Lomachenko is a slow starter. So at the beginning, when Devin Haney has the most energy, Lomachenko is going to be starting slow like he normally does. This is going to become a problem in the later rounds because Lomachenko normally turns up in the later rounds, in the mid to late rounds. As you can see with Teofimo, he ain't really start fighting until the middle of the fight, and from the middle to the end, that's when he really turned up. The first half of the fight with Jermaine Ortiz was competitive. The second half of the fight was when Lomachenko really started getting it in. So that being said, if Devin Haney is weight drained and his stamina isn't up to par in the later half of the fight, that could cost him a lot against Lomachenko, who's going to be turning up in the later half of the fight. Now, what Haney has to do to combat this, start off very strong and bank as many of them early rounds as he could, so that in the later rounds, when his energy is depleting and he's feeling weak and fatigued and Lomachenko is turning up on him, he already secured himself pretty much the fight. Now what he kind of has to do is just survive, maybe score here, boom, boom, or he could just hurt Lomachenko, get some knockdowns in the first half, which is way easier said than done. But pretty much, ultimately, Haney has to really bank on the earlier rounds of this fight so that if the weight draining kicks in and then he finds himself depleted on energy or having a low punch resistance, fatiguing, hopefully he did enough in the earlier rounds so that he could walk off with the victory. That being said, if Devin Haney wins this fight, it's very impressive and he deserves a lot of credit for it. Lomachenko is at an advantage naturally because he starts slow, finishes strong. Haney's going to be able to start strong early and probably not be able to finish as strong as he does. If he does finish strong, it's impressive given the circumstances, but let's see what happens. I'm out.
Coño, sube eso hasta arriba, vamos, dale duro. Yo salgo a la calle buscando mi gente cuando de repente todos los delincuentes que queden en mi vida, buena mala suerte que son mi familia, no importa la sangre. Jesús y su agua en vino.